Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a DIY Dollar Tree $3 for a pair of mini Christmas trees. We're going to use this garland. You get 15 feet. We're only going to use one, and you're going to need some wire ties, and this is optional, but you're only going to use about half a pack. And then, yep, you guessed it, from the toy section we're going to use these safety cones. You get 2 in a pack. So I want to thank Allison Boker, that is her YouTube name. She sent me this. She said, I searched the whole World Wide Web to see if anybody else had come up with this idea, and nobody had. So I'm doing it for you all. And I just love these because they're so full, and I'll show you how easy they will be able to do stuff with it. So first thing we're going to do is I'm cutting the corners off of the little stand. And that's optional. She didn't cut the corners off of hers, but I just thought the plastic cuts so easily that I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And now I'm taking a wire tie and I'm folding it in thirds, or cutting it in thirds, excuse me. And I'm folding them in half, but not quite exactly half. And I'm going to put the long end up towards the top of the cone. And I'm going to glue them at each of those 4 corners. They're sort of like these 2 little pegs that hold the little section perfectly. And this is just going to make it so much easier and a little bit more tree-like than actually just wrapping the garland around. But it's going to be also easier just to start it off, because we're going to not have to glue this garland on at all. It's just we're going to tie it on with these ties. These ties will be glued, but there's no glue on the garland. So if you ever do want to just take it apart and use the garland for something else, you can. So we're going to do that to all 4 corners. And I have to tell you, this is fast forwarded, so it does take a minute of patience for you to sit there and hold the glue, because if you've ever glued these wire ties before, the tree branch is plastic, and the plastic wants to melt first, and then it takes a while for the glue to actually hold on to that little wire that's in there, and then by the time it cools off, that's before you want to make sure it's cooled off before you move on, I guess is what I'm saying. And then we're just going to go with the garland's natural curve. I'm going to start at the very end, and we're just going to insert it between the tie and just turn them over. You don't have to twist it a bunch of times. We're just replacing the top with the bottom and the bottom with the top, which is why we put the long part towards the top. So once we twist it, it's longer on the bottom, like a natural tree branch would be. And we're going to do that to all 4 corners, and then we're just going to continue around. Now this garland from the Dollar Tree is wired. If you've watched the other collapsible tree tutorial, you know that you want to I like to run my hand against the grain of the bristles of the of the pine needles, I guess they're supposed to be, to fluff them up a bit. And it's wired, so if you have to hug it every once in a while, it's the best way I can describe it. Once you wrap it around there, you hug it so that the wire holds tight to its shape. And then we're going to take the rest of the second piece. So the first piece we cut in thirds. The second piece, we cut a third off of it. And we're going to take the remaining 2/3 of that second piece, and we're going to glue it to the top. And sort of the same way, we're going to glue it. We're going to fold it in less than center, you know, just a little bit like in one direction of center, so one piece is longer. And again, here's where the patience lies, just waiting for this glue to really cure up. Because like I said, it wants to melt the plastic, so you want to really make sure that the plastic's cooled off and it's all cured on there. And then when you get to the very top, you just continue wrapping. And this is approximately half of the garland. It's a little less than half of the garland. So that's why you will only need 1. You might have some left over, but it depends on, of course, how much you want to add to your tree. And then we're just going to wrap the top between that. We're going to wrap the end of the garland between that top twist tie, and we're going to give it a 1 twist. You want to hold it down with your finger while you're twisting it, just to be safe that you don't pull it off. And that's it. So now we're going to take 1 remaining tie, and we're going to cut it in 4 or 5 pieces, depending on the look that you're going for. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, I've taken each one. When you cut them in half, they sort of make like a straight line across the top of the bristles. I've just taken what's the top of the bristles. Basically, if you held the tie straight up and down, it would make like a Y or like a V-shaped. Well, where I guess the center of the V would be pointing down, just like that. You want it to make like a V shape. So I've just cut trimmed the top corners so that it looks more round and more natural. And then I've just folded each end over and I'm gluing them randomly throughout the tree. And I'm just doing this so when we go to decorate it, it has some actual branches to hold the decorations on, as well as it adds to, we didn't just wrap a garland around a cone. We added some texture and stuff with some elements of actual branches. Okay. Now this you can do as much or as little as you want. I'm trying to keep this. I was trying to keep this at a $2.50 for 2 trees, and that's actually what I did. But my one program won't let me put a decimal point, so I'd made it $3 trees. But really, you get 2 trees for $2.50 because you're only using a half a pack of ties. But if you had to buy the ties, it would be $3. Okay, so there is lots of different ideas for decorating this, but what I didn't want to do, and I was talking to Jim about this yesterday, I didn't want to glue on any ornaments. I wanted to make this so I can change it out throughout the years. So I'm leaving these, as you saw in the thumbnail, and we'll have at the end of the video, I'm going to leave these undecorated, permanently undecorated, temporarily undecorated. I'm going to make them so that they can be changed throughout the years. Because this year I might be into farmhouse, probably for a few years. Let's not fool anybody. But next year, I don't know, I might want to make this a glam tree or a kitchen tree or a bathroom tree and hang little things on there for the particular rooms. I don't know if you guys know that last year we made a kitchen tree, little farmhouse with one of the white trees and an ice bucket. But that's what I meant. So if you wanted to do like little trees in your kids' room and hang all like their favorite Disney ornaments or their favorite unicorns or their favorite sports figures or their, just you could decorate it each individual place. It doesn't have to be just the style of your house. Actually, individual room trees are really nice with kids. They get to personalize their own tree. They get to, they can actually help with this. If you hot glue these 5 points on for them, then they can technically do all the wrapping and stuff, and tying themselves, most kids anyway. And then they can decorate it their own ways, however they really want to. So those ties do, just like when we glued on the other ties, those little branch ones also take a little bit longer to set up. So once you've got as many branches on that you want, then that's it. And I'm just showing you here that, like a regular tree, it does have some friction, so it will hold up on ornaments and stuff. I was deciding what I was going to do with it. I didn't know if I was going to decorate it for you guys before I posted them. And just to speed really through the second one, this is just like super speed through the second one. Gonna repeat all of the things the same way. Actually, what I did for the second one is I started to cut the base really, really low. And I realized I really did like having the little spot on the corners to glue that branch to. So I just went ahead and I repeated it the same way. But if you want to skip the branch thing, or if you don't have any place that you don't want, or if your garland is not as fluffy and you want to hide all the orange, you can. You can always, you really could spray paint these if you wanted to, but this garland really does have great coverage and you don't really see any orange. So oddly enough, surprisingly enough. So anyway, we're talking about different ways to decorate them. It would be great if the kids could keep one in their room, and every year they could get whatever they're into that year. That's a great tradition to start. Like I said, cute in the bathroom, any kind of decor on both sides of the mantle, which I actually think that these are going to end up in place of where I keep topiaries on my mantle. I think I'm going to put one on each side. And if you see the thumbnail, you'll see one of them is quote unquote in a Dollar Tree galvanized bucket with jute, but technically it's on it. These fit 100% perfectly just on top of those short buckets. I'm not sure what they'll fit on other buckets. I just had those and I sat them on top of them and they sat perfectly. I didn't have to put anything in them to secure them. I didn't have to glue them on the bucket. They just sat right on top, which was really great. And I was like, oh, perfect. I have these 2 buckets. I'll sit them on top. They'll be cute little trees, topiaries in the corner. Perfect. So I'm most likely going to decorate this in the farmhouse style just because of where I'm going to put them on my fireplace. But I was thinking about different mini tree farmhouse decorations. If you guys are interested in seeing some of those, just leave it in the comments down below, because then I'll share that with you. I'll try to squeeze that in somewhere, maybe in a Vlogmas video, I don't know. But definitely let me know if you want to see that or just see the finished product, either way. What else? I mentioned the kitchen, the bathroom, the kids' rooms, the living room, the mantle. Oh, the Dollar Tree, that's what it was. Okay, so the Dollar Tree does have an entire, a fairly good section, let's put it that way, of miniature Christmas tree decor. They have mini ornaments, mini garlands, mini lights, all of those things. And actually mine, believe it or not, is not with the Christmas stuff. It's at the end of the aisle where the party stuff is. And I don't know if just my section, my seasonal section, is so small. And that's what they were trying to just have overflow there. But look out for it in other places besides the seasonal section, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But they sell the mini angels or the mini stars. They sell mini garlands, mini beads. They sell mini ornaments, little mini Christmas present boxes. Everything to decorate your little mini tree. Okay? So if you don't want to create your own, you can always go ahead and buy them at the Dollar Tree as well. All right? Now, I was telling you at the beginning, Allison Boker sent me this. She said, I scoured the internet to make sure that nobody else had thought about this. Great 2 cones for $1 idea. A lot of people do have a similar tutorial on the foam cones from the Dollar Tree, which are actually $1 each. So this, of course, is a better bargain. And just an unusual use of an item. So I wanted to be able to share this. It's a little different, the one that I made. I actually added the thing. She just did, wrapped hers on. I added the little garland ties there. And one of my favorite movies, where is this going, Jerry? You'll see. One of my favorite all-time movies is Steel Magnolias. And when Truvy, in the very, very beginning of the movie, Truvy gets Annelle to cut her hair, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you have little bits of hair all over you. And she's like, this room is so full of static, I pick up everything but boys and money. Well, working on this stuff, it is the same thing. It is just, what is happening? There is these little tiny things everywhere. And then, of course, when you go to take one off, then you get 3 more stuck to you. So it's just, why defeat the purpose? I should just vacuum myself. But one of the tricks, I don't know if you guys know this, but you take a new dryer sheet and you can rub down the surface, rub your hands. It's not 100% effective, but it definitely helps a lot when it comes to the static cling in an area when you're working with this like little plastic tree stuff. So that's what they look like up close, and that's it, everybody. This was super fun. So you can see the one on the right, I just stuck it right on top of the bucket. The one on the left, I just realized you can see a little orange. I must have hit the bottom. But if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to share with friends and family. Anybody you know might be interested in making these or decorating them. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. And when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye.